My name is Shane Sandiford, and I am a youth coach and mentor. So, so I mean, what what I try to do is, like I say, I'm a basketball player, but I played football. I played many other sports, but basketball is my main sport. And what I try to do, I mean, with sport and sport, and with I am youth coaching, um, is use my tools, what I know best, to engage with young people. So, for example, I'm working with a young person at the moment, and she has this real passion about sport, but she feels that when she's in class and when she's around her peers, she gets very anxious. And what I'm doing is kind of teaching her through basketball, the importance of teamwork and kind of learning how to work with others. The importance of kind of trying to stay cool under pressure, you know, just kind of to remain calm. She, she has like slight anxiety, and I notice it. I notice when we go to the classroom, I can see when her hands start shaking. That's when she's getting really anxious. So I'll try and do, we'll go through this routine that I taught her through basketball. Um, you know, where we go to the free throw line and I say, look, you're getting anxious. It's like 2 minutes left on the clock. You're down by one. You've got to find something. You've got to go to your happy place, and you've got to just exude that calmness. And she's able to kind of now she's able to take the skills I've taught her while we're playing basketball and apply them in the classroom. So like when I see her hand start shaking, I just say happy place, and she's able to kind of, if she's not overly anxious, she's able to kind of calm herself down in that moment. And you can see her hand just kind of gradually getting slower and slower till it goes to a halt. And, it's for me, it's so positive to kind of see that young people actually take on board what I'm saying, because, to some people, I'm just talking a lot of nonsense, but for her to kind of listen to what I'm saying, apply it, and for it to work for her, she's kind of seen, her value now. She's kind of understood, okay, well, Shane wants to impart something in me. He obviously sees that there's something about me. So let me kind of understand what it is. So we kind of do a lot of work now around her and what makes her so unique and so important to the bigger picture. So we'll sit down and do kind of exercises around, like I said, just doing positive affirmations, where she kind of, before she would kind of say, oh, I'm this and I'm, very negative self-talk. I kind of say to her, like most days, like every other day, I say to her, okay, cool, give me 5 things about you that's positive, and otherwise we're not going to play basketball. And so she has to rack her brain. She has to rack her brain for 5 positive things. And like I said last time, yeah, if I'd had these skills when I was younger, some of the adversities that I faced, I think I would have been able to, like I say, respond rather than react, because growing up I was quite reactive. Just by nature of my culture and my upbringing, I was very reactive. But if you get to a point as an adult where you can't react, you can't, everything can't be off a whim. And so, like I say, if someone like myself was teaching me these when I was 14, 15, that certain life choices probably would have been completely different. So, yeah. So yeah, in terms of those areas, those vital areas, what I'm trying to do is develop workshops around those, so that it gives young people the space and the platform to be able to openly talk about their experiences, and if they do like use drugs, they can freely open up, and kind of then we just have a honest conversation, an open conversation. Just yeah, it's what I want to do is be able to be in a position where I can kind of deliver these workshops, and kind of work with young people, but then signpost them to the correct services, and just ensure that they've got all the information, all the, that they can make informed decisions. That's what I want to do. I want to be able to kind of put them in a position where they can make informed decisions. They've got all the information, and you know, it's then kind of their their choice, their responsibility. Because I mean, I say 16-year-olds, you're more likely to be a drug addict than you are 8. But the world has changed quite a bit. I've worked with young people as young as 12 years old who are smoking 20 a day, and it's just like, how does that even make sense? Like, where do you get your hands on this stuff? And the new one is like vapes. Like a lot of young people are using vapes now. And like, I mean, even today I've had year 8 students who have been caught like vaping in school. It's just, but yeah, like I said, it's about kind of giving the young people the information, signposting them to the correct services, and just ensuring, like, yeah, they've got all the information they need to make an informed decision. Yeah, we do try to support. If a young person comes to us and says, this is what's happening to me, then we would involve the school, and we would work with the school, to kind of see what it is we can do to support the young person, and support the family if necessary, to kind of navigate this situation. It is a bit of a difficult one, because like the likes of the internet, and social media, being able, cyberbullying, and that kind of stuff. There's only so much that the school themselves can do. There's only so much that we as kind of external agencies can do. I mean, there's been a few incidents where the police have had to been called in previous schools that I've worked in. There's been issues with parents kind of stepping in and defending their child and calling. Yeah, it all gets a little bit out of hand, if not dealt with in the right way. And it's just, it can be difficult, but like I said, whatever we can do to support, we will gladly get involved. You know, I've got a workshop around kind of bullying and cyberbullying, and kind of up for kind of doing that with the young people and even their parents, if necessary, and just kind of, yeah, like I say, supporting wherever necessary. So peer-to-peer support, so the young people supporting young people, there's a lot of that. So like I say, when I'm doing kind of group sessions, I try and encourage teamwork. Even if if we're playing a sport and the kids are on separate teams and they're competing against each other, there's always the sense that we're a unit. And I try and encourage, even though that team's lost, you shake their hands, you congratulate them, you do whatever you need to do to encourage that. So over long periods of time, there is that development of, okay, that unified stance. So a lot of the young people are very close knit and tight, and in some cases see each other as family. So I have seen in past situations, young people kind of really kind of standing up for others, kind of really taking some flack, and just kind of putting their neck on the line to speak up for their peers and really just try and do whatever they can. I mean, in the past, I've had young people come to me and say, look, so and so has told me that dad's hit them or mum's hit them, or I've and they've reported this back to me, and they're like, look, they're too frightened to tell you. I said, I've come in as their advocate, and I'm coming to you to kind of let you know this is the situation. What do we do from here? And some of the young people that I've seen do this have been kind of the most immature. At the beginning, when we first come together, they're the most immature. But once they kind of understand, like I say, the unit they step up for each other. And it's a beautiful process to watch. It's a really beautiful process to watch and kind of be a part of. And I mean, I'm doing a bit of basketball coaching in Bedfordshire, and um, from the time we started, like I say, I drill into them. When you guys step onto the court, you guys are a family. That's how I was taught. When you step onto a court, when you step onto a football pitch, you guys all represent the same thing. You know, so if your brother or if your friend is kind of you injured, or if he's hurt, it's your responsibility to kind of ensure that they get up. You help them off the pitch, and then we carry on fighting. I want to say in memory of, but like for our fallen brother. Um, and this one in particular young person that came along, he was very arrogant, very, he thought he was better than everybody else. And I'd already had like a unit of guys, and he came in and he was just like, well, I'm better than everybody else, and giving it all of that. And I was just like, okay, cool, we'll see. So the other guys were very much like, when he got something wrong, they would coach him. And they were like, no, coach says to do it this way. We see what you're doing and it's not quite effective, but coach said, if you try it this way. And I, like, I was ready to jump in and be like, but they kind of like, no, coach, we've got this, it's fine. And they kind of step up, and they, even the one who is, he was a great basketball, he's a great basketball player, but it's just his arrogance, and he thought he knew better than everybody else. And they were like, try this. And they weren't up to his ability, but they've coached him and he's now like a great player. Just, so it's not, like I say, it's a great thing to watch. It's beautiful to watch, young people supporting one another. So, yeah, I mean, I feel that it's very important that the parents are involved. With YOUH coaching, what I try to do is try and involve the parents with as much of the process as possible, because a lot of it is about kind of not only teaching the young person how to kind of navigate their way through their emotions and feelings, is about kind of showing the parents how they're navigating, taking the parents on that path as well, on that journey with them, so that there's a bit more understanding of, there's a bit more flexibility, there's a bit more transparency, and everyone's kind of able to grow together. I'm a firm believer in kind of it takes a village. The parents are kind of, the family's like the nucleus. Whatever, if it's a two-parent family, single-parent family, whatever. But they are the nucleus, and then you've got the stakeholders around. So that's the schools, that's organisations like YOUH Coaching or Sport and Thought, and you've got police officers, you've got the GPs, and everybody who has stakes in the development of the young people. But the parents are key. The parents, if you have parents on board with what you're doing, and they see the value in what you're doing, then it just makes your job, my job, slightly easier, a lot easier.